Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show, Sex, Lies, and Lawyers, another podcast hosted by me, Sam Ryan Haydari. We have Travis Flesher.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How
I'm
are
excited.
you?
You know,
I'm so excited.
I see the show every single week coming through here, and I'm always jealous that I'm never the guest. But now I'm not jealous. You know why?
You are on the show
because I'm on the guest. I'm a
Let's
guest.
see how you behave and what you teach us. Exactly.
I have lots.
I know
to
you
teach.
have a podcast yourself.
I do. We have a podcast here at the studio, Sticky Paws Studios. It's a comedy improv podcast.
What's the name of your podcast?
It's called Sticky Podcast. Because
is
the
it
studio's
Sticky?
called
Okay,
Sticky
Sticky
Paws,
Paws,
right?
okay.
But it's the Sticky Podcast, and it's a comedy podcast. We just needed a podcast where there was no holds barred. We're just relaxing. There's no prep.
We just relax a little
yeah,
bit. Okay,
yeah,
chill.
exactly.
Okay.
Let's get the vibe of the show.
vibe.
You know.
Okay, so
do you feel the vibe going down your spine right now?
Exactly.
Okay, good.
But I heard that you're too sexy to be on the show. What's your opinion about that?
That's the professionals are. The jury's still out to be on brand here. But. But I'm a little too attractive for your kind of normal clientele and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
because they told me we are bringing someone for the part that is about the lies. I'm the lawyer, but not the sex. But they said that you are too sexy to be part of the show because of that part.
No,
I don't know.
I bring the sex to this podcast, to this episode specifically.
Please, it's going to be a podcast. You cannot just do sex on the podcast, okay?
No, a metaphorical.
Metaphorical, okay.
On the record, it's metaphorical.
Okay. That's good. Simulations.
Yeah. Everything.
Do you
Nothing's
remember
real.
that there was a club at the Venetian? Do you remember?
No.
The Act?
No, I've never. The Act.
The Act. That was so sexual and sensual that the Venetian brought the injunction relief to close down.
Interesting.
That was, I don't remember. It was a tone down of the Act of the New York, that it has a live simulation of the sexual conduct.
Oh.
And there was a huge, at that time, I was clerking for a judge, actually, in the district court here.
Yeah.
And that hearing was going on for almost 10 days.
Yeah.
And it was the most interesting thing that everyone was watching, and they are comparing all the shows of the strip to see which one is a high class, Humanity versus the other shows, and also versus the Green Door.
Oh, the Green Door. I've heard of that one. That's still around.
That was the first time I heard about that on the bench. I was sitting next to the judge, and they were comparing all this thing to tell the legal comparison and the class comparison with an expert to say that which one is not the high class or the first class show, because the language of the restrictive covenant by the Venetian in the Clark County was saying it should be a first class show. They were saying that is a violation of the covenant in the Clark County.
Wow.
Therefore, it should be taken down, and they have to get out of the lease, and they have to be kicked out.
Interesting.
And then they bring all these experts showing the part of all the shows on the strip and even the Green Door to tell them exactly which one is the low class, high class, middle class, and the first class.
Right. I mean, you've been there a bunch of times, so which one would you think it was?
I never been there, but interesting thing that I asked a dumb question. Instead of looking up on the Google, I put the note next to a judge, say, what's the Green Door? Because I didn't know. I was a student coming out of law school here, UNLV, and I was on the bench as a law clerk. And
you don't have time
watching
for that.
watching that trial, I said, what are they comparing? What's the Green Door?
Yeah.
I say, what's the Green Door? I said, look it online. I said, okay. I look online and said,
dear.
What's that? I said, okay. They were comparing all this thing, and finally they closed down the club.
Yeah.
The guy spent around 15 million to create that club.
Wow.
At that time, 2000s. And it was a tone down of the live version of the sexual conduct in the Act in New York. Okay.
Weird.
And they knew about it, but they were saying that it's so low class for the Venetian. They want to just get them out of the Venetian.
Yeah, I mean,
because
you
the
don't
crowd that they were bringing in, they were just against them.
Right.
So
And what year was this?
It was 2013. 2013, yes.
You know how old I was in 2013?
You were in the middle school?
I was 15 years old.
Oh my God, you don't remember that club?
No, yeah, I was 15 years old. Holy gee.
I'm not that old, okay?
What?
So
not a day over 36.
I'm 1 year older, younger than God. Okay.
You know, when God said, "Let there be lights," you were the one who flipped the switch.
Yes.
Yeah.
They told me. My mom told me.
Your mom is like, hey,
Yes.
flip the switch.
They switched. I was a mistake. Don't worry. So
Oh, gee, you know what? I wanted to be on this. I wanted to be on the show personally.
why?
I
wanna
requested to be on the show
my
because you
Tell
know
me.
very rarely. do you get-
Honestly, don't lie, okay?
Well, I
It's
mean,
about
that's part
sex,
of the-
lies, and lawyers, but don't lie. You are
Well-
here for the sexy part.
it might as well just be called "Sex, Lies, and Liars."
Lawyers are liars.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to ask, like, you know, there's a few like questions that I had. You know, I'm not sure if they've been answered on all of
About
the other
your
shows.
future?
About perhaps. I mean, is
What do
there
you
any-
want to become actually when you grow up?
when I grow up? I'm actually, believe it or not, Mr. Hadari.
Yes.
I am doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to grow up. I wanted
No
to be.
way.
I wanted to have a studio of people creating creative content. You know, my main man George back there. He's one of the.
Wow, I'm so proud
He's
of
one of the
him.
people, and yeah, no. Believe it or not, my dreams came true a lot quicker than I
Always
expected
my
to.
dream was the same thing. I have a show about the sex and lies and lawyers. And that was my dream when my mom turned on the light, actually, that we talked about.
Yeah.
that's it. He's going to be
Yeah.
a host of the sex, lies, and lawyers
And here you
Yes.
are.
here. And
It's Sticky Paws made
and
it happen.
every part of it, I experienced sex, lies, and I'm a lawyer.
Now you're a
I
lawyer.
lied too.
You know, how many years did it take to become a lawyer?
After bachelor, you have to go get the Juris Doctorate.
Yeah, which is like
3
10
years.
3
3 years.
Oh.
But usually 3 years after 3 years and the 4 years of bachelor is the 7 years. You come out, you take the bar exam, and it's a minimum qualification exam. It means that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Almost you know how to survive and swim, okay, but not at the professional level.
Right. I mean,
you have to go do like a internship, not the internship, but the first
Get
year
abused for a
associate, the
while.
second year, you have to
yeah, got to go through the thing.
pay your dues.
Now you have your own, like, you know, lawyership, your own company.
Lawyership.
That's crazy. Is that the only way to make money as a lawyer? Like, I feel like if you want to be, can't you just be a lawyer and just be just one of the dudes and just making some good money, or do you always have
No,
to
it
have a
depends.
billboard with your face on it saying "Sex, Lies, and Lawyers"?
Say, yeah, can I do that?
Yeah, you can put the word "sex" on a billboard.
Billboards?
Yeah,
Really?
you can put much worse on a billboard.
Oh, I know.
You live in Vegas. Do you not look at the
The
billboards?
only billboard I remember in California, it was one of the lawyers. It says size matters.
The size.
It was a lady.
How big is your law firm? You know.
Size matters. It was exactly saying that. Size
Oh.
matters on the billboard. So you can do that.
Yeah, you could do that. Why do like? There's so many other people with. I never understood the whole billboard battle with, like, you know, all the other lawyers here. I
And
find
10
it
billboards
so.
in the one location, actually the same person, same face. That's
Yes.
the thing that you are talking about.
Yeah, no, yeah, you have like I don't
Down
want
the freeway
Listen, I
15.
don't want to advertise the other guys, but I'm just gonna say, like, some of them look really pretentious, but the ones that always stand out are the funniest ones, because Vegas, you know, you driving on the 15, going
At least
going
15
north,
law firm you see
and-
on the billboard. I want to do that, actually.
do you
I
wanna
want to
do?
put one of my faces on that, upside down.
upside down, so people
Yes.
have to, like, crash their car. in
Crash
order
the
to-
car.
So,
I want to take a picture behind toward the camera and say,
Yeah.
guess who it is?
you know what you should do? Another good billboard.
Another personal injury lawyer coming to the town.
You should create a billboard that's like you pointing down, and it's like you should say "speed trap."
It's be-
Like, you just like,
everyone looks
everyone's like braking right before they see the billboard. No,
and then accident.
you got to be creative, man. Like, if you're how much money does your company spend? You don't have to say the number. Just give me, like, a range. How much money does your company spend on billboards?
Enough that I'm broke.
And how do you justify that? Is it just because other people have billboards?
I
Because
don't have
other lawyers?
billboards. Mostly is online social media
Oh, okay.
and the content that we are doing here as well.
Okay.
But billboard in Vegas is
like
a
10
perception, is a thing that if you don't do it, you are not
It's like an
famous.
ego.
You are not a good lawyer.
Right.
But it's not the truth. Really.
course not.
Being a billboard doesn't mean that you're a good lawyer. You're
just
a good
means you have enough
marketer.
money to buy a
Yeah,
billboard.
to buy billboards. Exactly.
Because I always see, like, the bench ads.
That's the reason I want to go on the billboard to look rich.
You want to look rich.
I
You don't want to look rich. You want to look humble. You want to speak to the
Humble, yes,
the layman.
I'm telling you. I want people have a perception of me that I'm so good.
What? That's the perception.
I'm joking.
All you got to do is have a billboard going
A
like
billboard.
this. Like,
No, I don't want to even look at the camera. I want my back to toward the camera.
yeah, you
People
should-
don't see my
you should-
face.
You know what you should
okay?
do? You should
What?
do the back, like the, you know, like.
Do you know this guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wanted.
Wanted.
Sam Hadari.
Look at this guy, guess who he is, and then you will win a $50,000 reward.
You saw shout out to David Kohlmeyer.
No, please. I already paid too much.
Did you see that guy who did the body in the barrel, like the other lawyer who did the body in the barrel billboard? Did you see that one?
If you are injured, going to the body.
Yeah, if you're injured while looking for a body, you know who to call.
Who to call?
Like,
Yes.
is there any like
the body cleaner?
Can someone sue that lawyer for having that kind of ad?
No.
Like, what's the limitation? Because obviously, if somebody's dumb enough to do something, right, you almost have to understand the average knowledge of a human in Las Vegas, and then whether or not they're willing to do it. So, how far can you go on a billboard that is slightly misinformation, but like being funny enough to like capture the
First,
attention?
the best practice for lawyers, don't put those on the billboard unless you get the state bar approval.
Oh, the state bar.
The state
You have
bar
to run it through
supervises all the advertising.
So do you think he got
You
this?
have to keep a record of it for at least, I don't remember, is it 7 years or 10 years? And you have to get the approval if you think really it's going to be a bad reflection of the profession.
Of the profession. Like the bar wants to keep lawyers
exactly,
lying.
lying and not lying, yes. Not being a good liars, being a good lawyers.
Good lawyers.
Yes.
Which doesn't mean like a good lawyer for people necessarily. It just means that they're a good
It's
lawyer.
funny. It's a joke, possibly, that thing that he put it up there.
Did that go through the bar? Do you think the bar would have accepted
The
that?
bar monitors those situations. If there's a problem, they tell them to bring it down. But usually you have to get the approval before putting the billboard that is controversial. If you put your face and in the name,
Right.
of course, they're not going to pick up on you or something.
Right.
You have the right to advertise.
Why don't you just put everything opposite on the billboard? Like, if you're not in a car accident, do not call me Sam Hadari. Logger.
Yeah, you can do that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
What if you
come
say
up
like,
with some creative ideas for the people that they want to do a billboard actually in their personal
I
injury.
just want to have a billboard because like I sometimes see them like, and people buy
It's
billboards.
too much, and all of them are just they can just
Yeah, they're just
pull
there's like
and everything.
oh yeah look
What?
I get all the,
How I
the-
have to put my picture up there? You tell me on the billboard. if I
How do
wanna
you have
buy
to
a
put the
billboard.
picture?
Yes.
I love the idea of you being facing the wrong way, but in front of you facing the wrong way. So we're seeing the billboard, here you are facing, we see the back of you, but in front of you,
Is a road.
is the billboard that's supposed to be turned around. And it's like, turned around while driving, call Sam Hadari, you know, like
Back of the billboard.
Yeah, so-
Everyone gets into an accident.
yeah, but
then
it's
we can
really
sign up.
yeah,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
like you're reversed, and the whole billboard's reversed.
I just think we do like action shots of like personal injury things. So like you in a suit and tie jumping in a bouncy castle, and then but like you like hurt your ankle. Like
Oh, it's like is it Allstate?
it shows you like jumping up like Hadari, and then like it shows you landing and your fucking leg snap or your freaking leg snaps, and then it shows you going to the hospital. It's like
Wow.
personal injury.
Oh.
What is
Sam
where
Hadari.
is Mayhem? Like what company is Mayhem? Do you know the
Mayhem? What's that? Mayhem
the-
means that the amputee.
No.
or
Like
the-
you know the commercials where it's like Mayhem is causing all these issues and it's like an,
okay.
like
Oh,
an insurance
Allstate.
commercial. Allstate, right?
Allstate.
So what if you became the Mayhem, which is you're the embodiment of personal injury? So it's like it's you in a suit, like looking professional, but in a completely uninitiated environment where you're in a bouncy castle, you roll your ankle. You're in a hotel and you fall down. You're driving a car. Maybe driving a car is too normal. Maybe you're driving a clown car or a bus of clowns, and then you
There
crash.
are some of them in Texas. There are some lawyers that did it actually.
Right.
What was that lawyer that had a very tacky advertisement that he became so famous? He was
Here?
so cool in Texas. That
In
it
Texas.
was. It's a liberty, justice.
Oh,
unity,
like it
justice.
had like American
The
flags.
American flag flying out.
You really just have to be different. I mean, like honestly, like being a lawyer in this town, because at the end of the day,
really, if you see such advertisement, you are going to hire that lawyer for when you are in jail for murder. Tell me.
but like, okay, is this it? Is this the?
He has a cool advertisement for entertainment, but I don't know. That's it. Yes, I'm seeing it.
Here, let's see if we can pull this up.
Case to become your new attorney with a big, over-the-top, loud, hilarious new TV commercial.
He is cool.
Whoa.
It's a cool advertisement. Don't get me wrong.
But I just
Brian Wilson,
Law.
Texas Lawhawk. Justice.
In the TV spot, Brian Wilson speaks what people have come
I'm telling you.
come on, man. Where's your commercials like this, man?
Buffalo tranquilizer.
I don't
or
know.
field
Well, like, why aren't you doing stuff
You
like
think
this?
you go in front of the jury and you have such a thing, actually. That's a guy, funny guy. Don't take him serious.
But like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, 'cause
I don't know.
You have to balance the act. Cause like, okay,
It's good for marketing. Possibly people remember it.
Absolutely.
But whether they trust such an ad is an ad that people, they say, oh, that the guy I'm now in prison for the murder or the robbery or something. I'm
Right.
going to hire this guy.
I mean, we had a clown literally run for our president and won. So like, why can't a lawyer make a funny joke?
Which one?
And then
The
also
Snoopy
represent
joke?
a murderer? Like,
Which one? We had too many clowns.
Okay, I don't want to. No comment. That's off the record. We can talk later.
Which one was not a clown?
Did you wait? Did you guys already discuss the UFO stuff on this podcast?
UFO? No. Why?
Oh, did you
I'm an alien
the
lawyer.
UFO.
What are
You help
talking about?
you help undocumented citizens or aliens specifically.
Aliens,
Oh,
yes.
aliens. not-
Aliens, we serve them actually in the Jupiter.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
Jupiter system.
We
Right.
contracted with Elon Musk
Oh.
actually to serve the summons and complaints on them because they invaded
How do
that
you serve
house.
it? I mean, because there's like
We put
a
it in and send it over. You
light
don't-
takes like like 10 days to reach Jupiter. So is there always like a delay for 10 days for correspondence? And do you?
Yeah,
and
they
here's the
add
thing.
another 3 days for
And
the delivery.
Oh, delivery, and then
Yes.
because supply shortages, Jupiter,
Yes,
COVID,
exactly.
COVID hit Jupiter pretty hard.
Light,
you also,
Lightspeed only works on business days.
yeah.
Business.
And do you charge them for the hours for
Elon Musk
time
has
sent?
Elon
as well?
Musk has a villa over there actually.
Oh, yeah, villa, a vacation home on
Vacation
Jupiter,
over Jupiter.
just floating on the clouds of
Floating,
the
then comes
the
back.
anthrax
Yeah,
clouds that just
exactly.
exist in Jupiter. I know nothing about
You don't know? You're not an expert in the UFOs?
I'm not.
You wanna
They're
talk
actually
about
called
the
UAP.
UFOs?
They're called UAPs now. I do know that.
What is that?
Unidentified aerial phenomenon. There it is.
Oh, they're calling it phenomenon. It's not the object anymore.
No,
they are
because
saying that
they've-
it's not
they've
physical.
adjusted
It possibly is a
It
light.
could just be anything, right?
can be-
So they're declassifying. Well, not the government, but the people who are seeing these things are coming out publicly to discuss that there's
Yeah, I saw that
some
in the
misinformation.
news, NPR.
What's your opinion of that? Do they
I don't
have
any
any?
opinion. I'm an alien lawyer that represent them. I'm not the
Right.
alien specialist. Okay. I'm not.
the tic tac that goes around, right? So like, what rights does that illegal alien have in the
if
in
the corporations
system?
are person, definitely aliens are person, and they
Yeah.
get afford the constitutional protection when they come to United States landing, at least.
What if they're in international waters? An undocumented
marine
illegal
law. That's
alien
a-
from Jupiter comes down.
No,
and
that's a marine law.
it's marine law.
Yeah.
You're not marine law.
No.
Yeah, you're
we are dealing with only.
yeah, you're focused mostly in the United States.
Whoever that the aliens that lands here in the United States.
Right. I'd imagine you're really busy because of Area 51. I'd imagine a lot of those
Yeah,
test
people are
subjects.
coming here. Tell me, what did you want about the UFOs? You're on some track, actually.
Actually, I have a surprise for you. I just become an alien.
Oh my God.
Did you ever have to represent somebody you know was guilty?
Guilty of what?
Guilty
I
of
don't
whatever
do criminal.
But
I hate criminal.
injury?
That's the only
Somebody
course
causes
that
the
I
injury.
almost failed in law school. Okay?
Do you represent the person who injures, not just the person
that's
who
a
gets
victim.
an injury?
We call him a victim.
No.
of
Who is the injurer? Who is
injurer
the assailant?
Is a defense. It's a defense. There are civil lawsuits. There is no criminal unless they were
So you just
drunk
battle.
or under influence and injured someone. Then they get criminally charged as well.
So
By the government, the prosecutors,
who
are
is-
going to charge.
Who is your client's defendants essentially? Like who is it?
we
Companies?
sue. It depends on whoever that ran over our client. It depends on is a big truck company or
But so
it's a
nobody-
person or someone with no insurance, no assets. So bad luck.
So there's two food groups. There's the injury lawyers, which are the victims who
Yes,
support the victims, and then
they are
the
called
a
plaintiff
criminal.
usually that they are not at fault. They sue the party who caused the injuries. They call defendants.
Ah, I see.
It's a civil lawsuit. Plaintiff versus defendant. Plaintiff is a person usually bringing the lawsuit to claim that I was injured as a result of the negligence of the defendant, the other party.
Did you learn that in school? All those
Yeah,
words.
that I'm just I studied for the bar exam.
You studied for this interview.
I was a
just-
nerd.
You were a nerd. Did okay? I mean, to bring the sex back into it, like at any point in your tenure to getting your education, did you
Did
ever
you have any sex? Yes, I have.
did you ever use the whole I'm about to take my bar exam. You want to go to the bar and get a couple drinks or something like that? Do you ever use any pickup lines? Any lawyer pickup lines?
Lawyer pickup lines. I've seen it. I'm a lawyer. My friends, they were dropping the card of the lawyer, say, I'm a lawyer. I say, okay, everyone is a fucking lawyer these days, okay? It's not a privilege anymore.
Everyone's a lawyer and a real estate agent.
Real estate agent, exactly. Who cares?
And a podcaster.
He can be broke as a lawyer.
So what you're saying is when you lay down the card,
and it doesn't mean that you are smart being a lawyer, okay? In addition to that.
This means you can memorize
you can memorize and you pass the minimum qualification exam.
So Hadari, how many, in your professional opinion, lawyers in this town, percentage-wise, are those types of lawyers that just barely pass the bar and then just do the job and they're okay?
It's not in the town. It depends. Some people in the school, they were 50%. They are there to just get a degree and then they decide. And after that, it depends on how much diligence they put and effort they put into the learning the law or the niche that they are going to choose. You can't say exactly at the school. You can say who has a good background and education background and the foundation that they are smart, but it doesn't mean they are going to be a good lawyer in the field they are choosing.
I see.
It's too hard to measure that. Really.
So would you what field of lawyership is the easiest field of lawyership? What is the general studies?
If you want to become a lawyer and a good lawyer, you have to study, you have to pay your dues, you have to research the law, you have to make mistakes and learn from it, and you have to burn candle.
How many parties did you miss because you were studying to be a lawyer? How many
during law school? Yes, I was married during law school.
Oh, really?
And another thing, people in law school, they didn't know me till I graduated and showed up. You know why? Because I was always in the library back there, close the door and study. I finished my law school 2.5 years instead of the 3 years.
Do you think some of the guys with the cool haircuts and the back-to-back images on the billboards, they didn't do that?
I don't know. You have to ask their girlfriends. I don't know.
Plural?
Yeah.
Plural, multiple girlfriends?
It depends.
Oh, you heard it here first, guys. Multiple girlfriends.
That the lawyers usually they have a record of the several marriages.
Records of several marriages. But it was the divorce rate and the hookup rate.
Who can deal with the lawyers, man? In the life.
wait, do lawyers? Is there a lawyer? Lawyer?
Lawyer?
Are you trying to sue another lawyer? Come to my law firm to sue a lawyer.
There are self-governance, they call it. It means that you can sue other lawyers for malpractice, negligence, like in medical doctors that they get sued. Other lawyers, there are lawyers that they sue other lawyers for the legal malpractice that they committed, missing deadlines or something that is damaged. Even the one that in the criminal cases, they commit malpractice, forget the evidence, or they fail to do due diligence or incompetency.
So how much budget dollars do you dedicate to trying to find dirt on other lawyers in the city?
Usually, our lawyers are hesitant to sue lawyers, but
because it's a bad
in
rap.
In the outrageous situation that everyone knows that this lawyer is going out and they have to just sue.
Right.
Because
by the time that happens,
it's not
their
bad
reputation
because
is
it
gone.
keeps all the lawyers in line. It's like suing the doctors. Doctors are afraid not being sued. That's 50% of it. If they don't have any self-conscious or the ethics, they are afraid of not being sued. That's the reason they pay attention. They try to follow the guideline. They cross all the T's and dot all the I's all the time and try to communicate with the patient. Why? Because there are some lawyers out there, enforcers, If you make a mistake, they are going to get the percentage out of the lawsuit and they sue the doctor and destroy the doctor's career because he committed malpractice. The same thing to the lawyers happen. Lawyers are out there that they sue the lawyers when they commit the malpractice and they ask for the money, and that's the reason I have to pay attention to policy procedure of my office as well, other than my ethical obligation to the state bar under the state bar. There is a monetary punishment actually if I commit a malpractice.
So it's like undercover boss, but it's called undercover bar.
Exactly. That's the thing. Everyone knows someone is out there that are going to get sued.
So
even the premises, for example, if you go to the premises, Allegiant or all these places, they are having the door. They have evacuation policies, procedure. They practice it because of what? Because they know if they don't do it first, the people are going to hurt, allegedly. But also there is a consequences for it. It's the monetary and the sanctions and also punitive damages if purposefully they fail to
Right.
have those policy procedure in
So
place.
so from what I understood from all of that,
We are the good guys
they're-
as a lawyer. We are enforcers of the laws. We get the money. Yes, we get money. Okay.
That's not what I was
But
gonna say.
at the same time, we enforce the laws, and also sometimes ourselves are subject to the lawsuit as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, and I think that it's breaking news here is that there's undercover bosses / bar agents that go out and hurt people, just so they can test the injury lawyers, right?
No, that's
so
illegal.
they're like break the legs and they're like, now go to Hadari and make sure you get.
Go sue me.
I want to make sure everything's going good. They're like, what about my leg? They're like, oh well, that'll heal.
That
Yeah,
heals.
that'll heal.
man.
Yeah,
That's
don't worry
a one
about
surgery.
that. Yeah.
So-
You've never had to defend somebody who's obvious. So have you ever had to defend somebody that you realized that they were faking their injury?
I dropped the case like that.
Yeah. It's
After
like
I
what
found
kind of
out,
what kind of injury was
let
it?
me tell you,
Yeah.
it was a injury. It was a shoulder injury, and he told us that he fell at that place, and he really fell. He was injured at that place, but the injuries that he sustained and the recommendation for the surgery was already done in the prior accident.
Oh.
The same surgery.
So he was double dipping.
And double
like-
dipping, trying
yeah.
to double dip, and never told us about that. I would not have taken that case, and he blindsided us completely. When the document came out, we were looking at it, say, it's the same doctor in the same surgery recommended before this incident. We're talking about how you are injured. And
Wow.
then I had to drop the case and say, I'm not.
So
because you lied to me, now you perjured yourself in the deposition too. I'm not going to defend you
So
anymore.
you sue him for
No.
perjuring you, I guess.
It's not a perjury by me. He testified actually,
Oh.
and then later the document came out and said, "Did you know that?" I said, "No, sorry to God, I didn't know that the surgery was recommended." I say, "You went to the same doctor 2 years before, and they told you need the surgery on the shoulder, and you don't remember? Is it possible? Tell me." You go to a doctor, say, "Hey, your shoulder
Yeah.
is kind of,
Yeah.
you need a surgery."
Right.
And 2 years after, you fall, and you get with the same doctor, you get the same surgery,
It's possible, I guess.
and you don't remember
Oh, well,
that you were
yeah,
told
I
that
mean,
you need surgery.
Hey, when you're anesthesia, he didn't remember the surgery.
And you come to the
'cause
deposition, you say
anesthesia.
no. And you come to the deposition and say, no, I never been recommended any surgery.
That's
before."
crazy.
So that's it. That's the end of the case.
So
Credibility of the plaintiff is gone down the door, out.
So what does your day consist of? I'd imagine okay, here's what I think lawyers do all day. Like people
Darn
with
the
the
court
billboards.
and the thing.
No, first of all, their day.
They are in
8
front of the podcast like me all day.
So 8 a.m. comes around, their alarm comes off, they roll over. They have 14 women in the bed. They click the alarm off. They get up, they look at themselves in the mirror. They're perfect because their hair is perfectly done 100% of the time. They go outside, they look outdoors, and they immediately go to their podcast, Sex, Lies, and Lawyers.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
my life. How do you know that?
What?
Not
Revealing
the 14.
some- yeah.
I just only one that wakes me up,
Yeah.
but it's smacking me. I say, hey, it's late, go to work.
She's enough woman for 14, right? Am I right?
Yes.
She's
That's it.
real strong woman.
That's it. No prenuptial. Yeah.
But then you go record your ad.
She's so.
She watching this right now? Maybe
Maybe.
she'll watch this. I'll send this to her.
Okay, so just can you cut this part? If you
cut
want to
that.
see me next week.
We can cut everything out. You know what we should do? Since this part's going to be cut and George, you're going to be, engineering this. Let's just pretend like we just had a really funny joke that they didn't get to hear. And then let's talk about how that's in the after podcast. They have to subscribe or be, pay your
Should we
lawyers.
start charging for this podcast because you are here?
Should I charge? Should you charge me?
No, on the I think it's subscription.
Right.
Because of your episode only.
Right, because I bring the
You're
sex
so-
to the
yeah, exactly.
I bring the
You're
sex to the
so
sex lies lawyers. It's a fun
You're-
episode.
You look like Brad Pitt.
I look Brad Pitt. I look like Brad Pitt. I get like Andrew McCarthy before Brad Pitt.
Sorry. My glass was. there.
Okay.
Sorry.
You think Brad Pitt's sexy?
No.
I don't know. You just called me.
You like that? Huh?
Oh man. So is there any surprises you get in so do you ever go to court, jury's there, you're like, no, this happened. Yeah, you ever yell?
Yeah, we do, but we don't yell.
Okay, you're like, Your Honor, let me have a moment.
Have a
Is there
moment with the jury.
what's the biggest twist in your history of all of your court cases? What is the biggest twist that new evidence that was not shown or whatever? You have anything like that?
Biggest twist when the jury is you get the jury that they are all biased, and you run out of your peremptory challenge, and the judge doesn't use to do any cause challenge on the people.
So what does that mean? So cause challenge?
Cause challenge.
Yeah.
It means that you establish by voir dire, by jury selection procedure, that you ask questions and you establish that person is biased or extreme bias and cannot follow the law and apply the facts
Right.
to the evidence by asking questions.
Sure.
And the judge said, I disagree. That he can. He said, okay. So what should I do? I use the peremptory challenge. You have a number of the peremptory challenges you can use, up to 4, depends on the court and the method they use. But after you run out of that, or the cause, you have to use it as a cause first, because you want to save those for the worst jurors that are super biased.
Right.
And the judge
The
is
ones
not
you know that are,
But sometimes
tilted.
you run out of the peremptory challenge and it's too hard. Some of them, they are smart. They want to try. But the final question he asks, can you be actually can you follow that? I say, yes, definitely I can do it. But I don't believe in that. But I can do definitely if you tell me. And say, okay, fine, you can do it or you cannot do it, because I want to just get rid of you.
So I think this
that's the most challenging part of
Is
the
jurors.
jury trial. The jurors, that how they are just perceive you, whether they like you,
Right.
and whether they like your clients. Yes. If they don't like your clients, even you are a good lawyer and they like you, they like your method or something, they are going to give nothing.
right.
And they find a way not to give a nothing.
So the defendant is trying to find people that hate you or like them, and then you're
not
trying to
hate
find
you.
people.
You are looking for people that are unbiased, and you try to
That's what the
change
law
their
says.
change their opinion by persuasion, by the experts or by the talk during the trial, by showing
Because-
the evidence who is going to
Because
win.
you guys both get to choose
Both
the
is
juror.
that-
Because you
yes,
guys have to approve it. So
exactly.
you guys have to
Yes.
agree that this juror is an unbiased juror.
Unbiased on juror, and you try to establish that he is going to be fair to the defense, fair to the plaintiff. Both of them, we are starting at the same starting point. We are not one step behind. Because you are just a plaintiff lawyer, you are an ambulance chaser, I don't like you. Some of them, they say.
Right.
You ask those questions, say, what's your opinion is about the word ambulance chaser?
So if you like,
And
I
they say,
hate lawyers.
all of them are say, they are crooks. And I say, okay, last time no, you don't send out. You cannot, because you have to ask more questions to see. Sometimes you can convert them to say, understand
You can convert them
exactly
into an
how
unbiased.
good we are. And we are necessary for society. No, I'm not kidding. Because some of them at the very end, they tell you in the jury pool and say, yeah, the thing that you told me during the jury selection, it changed my opinion to some extent as to why we have a plaintiff lawyers that they work on the contingency fees and they don't get anything up front, and they take the risk, go and do all this work and spend money in the case in the hope that they're going to recover some money, take all the risk. And we are not charging hourly. It's a flat percentage.
You're a
out of
contingency
You're
lawyer?
a contingency lawyer.
Yes.
It means that you have to
we don't
run your
make a
office
dime
and say-
until you win. Is that
Yes,
you? Yeah.
exactly. That's a contingency lawyer.
A contingency
it's called.
lawyer,
Yeah,
yeah.
contingency fee agreement.
So, but if they lose, you just eat the cost.
We have to eat costs.
Damn.
Yep.
Does
He
it
doesn't
does it,
lose, Travis.
He doesn't lose.
No, we lose. The first trial that I had in Ventura, it was the hardest trial that everyone told me not to do. And it was in Ventura County. Super conservative jurisdiction that never, you get the good verdict out of that jury over there. And it was a guy versus a business. And they hate that over there, that you sue businesses. And it was a premise liability. And they found it that the dangerous condition was open and obvious.
Was it like a
Therefore, zero.
giant hole in the ground or something?
No, it was a very weird bump that it was useless. It should have been removed. They never removed it. And it caused our client to go backward while talking and fell and broke the shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
They definitely could find the causation that this cause caused the shoulder and the surgery, but they said it was open and obvious. You cannot control the jury. And
Yeah.
it depends on the jurisdiction, depends on the jury that are sitting in the box. And
That was your first case?
that was my first
And
case,
so-
yes. It was 2015.
And
I had
you-
my own
And it was
firm.
your, so
I paid the cost. It was a lot of money for me at that time.
so you,
150,000, no one wanted to just
to
try
have
that
your own
case.
firm, do you have to get like investments? So like or
You
do
have to just
self-invest?
Self-invest,
So
and
what-
then
so
you
you
have
s-
to be fast to try to convert the cases to the money, and then spend on the other cases because we don't get paid
So you took out a
hourly.
loan,
It's not like a
essentially,
defense
to do it.
lawyer to get hourly from the insurance company.
So you're pretty much month to month at your company.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a month to month, and you have to schedule, you have to pay for advertisement, you have to
Right.
do a customer service. It's not an easy work for the plaintiff side. You have a consumer as a customer versus the defense lawyer. They have insurance companies that they pay their bills and they hire them for the people, but really the insurance company is someone that is paying the bills.
Right.
The allegiance goes to,
So
loyalty goes to the insurance company, even though ethically you should not go,
Right.
but they get paid with them.
So you're every single case you're fighting uphill against people who have more money than you, who have, regardless if they win or lose, they're getting paid, right?
Yeah, yes,
And-
exactly. They have
and-
nothing to lose in the case.
Right.
As a defense lawyer, you don't.
The only thing that you have everything to lose, and then
lose.
the defendant has nothing to lose.
Yeah, it's hard to lose. That feeling is the worst feeling that
Yeah.
you have when the jury comes out and reads it and say defense verdict. Yeah, it's good for them because they got the money. Also, they got the reputation.
Wow.
But
So
I
what,
got nothing, and I got the $150,000 bill on my hand at the second year of my practice. So how it
second year.
feels.
So you pretty much you started. So I'd imagine that when you start your firm, is it just like you start your firm and then it's like boom, you started your firm, or do you need to have some sort of like you need to pay for? Does your student fees, like how do you pay for to start your own firm?
You have to just do it, just survive at least for 1 year on your own money and borrow money.
then it
I
just
borrowed
kind of
money.
snowballs.
And
Oh,
yeah,
you-
snowballs. And after that, it starts rolling and rolling and rolling and snowballs.
So
Exactly.
your firm is just you. You have no partners.
No part.
No partners. Are you ever going to open up to? Like I'm thinking about
becoming
doing the bar exam.
Bar exam,
Yeah,
you want to join? Yeah, we have a path to partnership.
Yeah, you could be Hadari and
ends to the
Flesher.
valley. Actually, you fall off on the other side. There's a path to partnership.
Well, see,
I'm
no.
joking.
So the partnership between me and you is I'll just be the guy on the billboards acting a fool, and then you
are
just do the
a
case.
A spokesperson. Okay?
No,
it's
no.
completely different.
No, I
because
don't think you
cannot become a
understand. I want to be a
partner with me.
partner. I want to be. I'm a
You have
partner.
to be a lawyer. You cannot just be a partner. You didn't know that? It's a fee sharing.
Well,
With
I'll
the
be-
non-lawyer
I'll be-
is banned. You cannot be a part of my firm.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like doctors. Doctors cannot be partner with the non-doctors.
I can't be.
in
I
the
can't.
company.
I can't be like the good cop. You be the bad cop kind of situation. Like
Yeah, you can just play as a spokesperson.
I can't be like the classic, daytime television. Like you don't know what you don't know,
You
and
can
then
be
you're
like that the camera actually that video that we saw in Texas motorcycle car.
Yeah, I just want to be that guy for you, Hidari.
But we have a disclaimer underneath that he's a spokesperson
Yeah,
for the
this is an paid actor. This
yeah
is a
paid
spokesperson.
actor is a spokesperson. That's it.
So like, this is a serious question. Is like can
No, don't be serious.
Okay,
Come
this
on.
is a pretend question.
Okay.
This is not a real question.
Okay.
Totally fake. Everything is fake. This
Fake.
is
It's a
actually
fake.
this is done
This is a
using
fake.
AI. None of us are
Not
actually here right
talking.
now.
We are testing the AI.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, honestly, I think we need to work on your AI. It's looking a little bit robotic.
Yeah, I gained weight in the AI.
Can a juror be too excited? What if you're interviewing me to be a jury, in
Jury
the jury,
selection, we're done.
and jury
Question.
selection, and I'm just like, man, I just can't wait to get in there, and you're just like,
some of them they say I really love to. It's my civic duty. I was excluded by the other lawyers. I've been on the jury selection actually 3 times.
right.
So
And
last time I
declined.
got someone that I excluded last time, the previous lawyer. I said, Your Honor, I know that guy. We excluded him.
After this, I'm probably going to get a summons or whatever, but I've never been called up to jury. And I know people who have been called up like 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
And I
But
just don't-
if you one time you get excluded, I think for some certain amount number of years you don't get called again.
right.
Yeah.
So is it just my social status? Like, why am
You
I
never
not? Why
called?
am I
You
not?
never called?
I've never been called. I've never
because
been.
you're white. That's the reason.
Really?
Because it should
Wow.
be a fair section of the Clark County.
Oh.
And the
I'm
white is more than the Hispanic. That's the reason the white population is higher. Possibly
so less
the
white.
apportionment doesn't hit.
So less white
And
people
you
are juries.
Yes. No, there are more white people. They are
Oh,
in
the percentage of me being chosen.
chosen, yes.
Because that makes sense. So if
less,
they're more
yeah.
of a minority, then they're a smaller percentage. Therefore, there's less of a pool.
They get called more because it should be a fair cross section of the entire.
So
community.
let's say there's 10 jury members and
Yeah.
white people are 50%. There should be 5 white people on the jury.
It's a apportionment.
More or less.
They have a jury selection method that also you can challenge it sometimes
Yeah.
when someone is trying to do a cause or pretending that is a cause or peremptory challenge based on the race. For example, they say, "Oh, we don't like the white conservatives," and you see the pattern. All the white conservatives are going out. you can challenge it. It's called Batson challenge.
Batson.
And you cannot do cause or penetrate challenge based on the race. Hispanic, white, it doesn't matter. Based on the race. That's the thing. And you cannot just use that. But it's hard to prove. When someone is doing perimeter challenge, they are not talking to them, say, I wanted that one. But out of
now
the
you're
four perimeter
profiling
challenge,
them.
yeah, profiling,
Yeah.
yes. But you have to do it. The judge should decide. It's too hard to just say that.
Are you familiar? Just kidding. I'm not going to ask that question. What was I going to ask? I don't remember.
Which one?
The question that I was going to
You
ask.
didn't have any question.
I didn't
This
have
is
a
fake
question.
show.
This is a fake. Remember this? Oh, right. It goes back to
The question
AI.
I gave you, you have to ask me. Just ask.
Just
No, I'm
ask.
joking.
It's called consent. Sex, lies, and lawyers also involves consent. We
Did you
both
consent
agreed.
to come to the Sex, Lies, and Lawyers?
I did consent to come to the Sex, Lies, and Lawyers show. No, I wanted to say, how are injury lawyers, namely Hadari Law Group, incorporating AI into law, into your practice? You guys use artificial intelligence in any way?
Yeah, we write articles by AI for the AI.
For AI? you write legislation for AI,
by AI. It's like, can you write a good
It's like
legislation?
Skynet's
Write for something to govern yourself.
No.
Please, no.
It's just no.
AI is coming to the legal, but I think is overplayed, and everyone talks about the AI.
Right.
But is not developed that much that is going to replace the lawyers and the critical thinking at this moment. Yeah, it can help a search and the jobs that is repetitive, definitely, and the better research skills than the human being, because it's based on the pattern of the other people who did the research. It's going to research the laws. But there was an incident in Texas that was interesting, that the lawyers got reported to the state bar for faking the case law. You know why?
Because
they wrote the opposition. They wrote the opposition by AI, and the AI created a fake case law, and they never checked that case law, that it was a perfect case law on point for that situation, and they put it in the pleading. And you have, as a lawyer, you're certified that you did the due diligence, that there is not a misrepresentation.
And the judge found it.
That's it.
Or
they checked that case and said such a case doesn't exist in universe. Where did it come from? And the lawyers got reported to the state board that they are deceiving the court, actually, and they are violating their ethical duty as to using the non-binding authority or the fake authority. That's worse. It doesn't exist. It's not even the other jurisdiction. It's not binding on this jurisdiction. It's something that doesn't exist. That case law doesn't exist.
So you straight up just like, it's like the worst of the worst. Because like if you did that without AI, that's like malicious
Definitely
intent.
you have to go. Yeah. But
like,
no, even the AI is a lack of competence. Because as a lawyer, you have a duty to key cite all the case laws. Even your paralegal or your associate is writing, you have to just make sure someone key cite the cases to see that case law still is a good law or not.
Right.
That ruling in that case as a precedent is a good law in United States or in that jurisdiction, and is binding still or not. You cannot just put just a non-binding overruled case law. Right. Imagine now you are citing to a case that doesn't exist, never existed. And
that's insane. That's so
they got
insane.
Problem. They got reported to the state bar,
and then they're kicked out. Do you know what happened?
I don't know what happens. They are going to definitely get something, suspension.
That's
not
crazy.
disbarment, but suspension or probation.
He can argue
something.
that it was negligence, but it wasn't intentional.
It's not negligence. You have an ethical duty of
to
discharging
verify.
and to verify that, and also to your client as well.
Yeah.
And also ethical and candor to the court. There are two ethical duties owed: one to your client, competency, and also candor and be ethical to the court. They violated both.
Wow.
By not checking that case law that never existed.
You know, I bet they won't put that on their billboards. We use AI to
We use AI. We got screwed by the AI. Now we need a lawyer. Can you help us?
Yeah, you need to create the
represent us.
first AI lawyer, but like it's not real.
Everyone say AI passed the state bar. Yeah, it depends on AI where the information is getting.
Right,
That is
obviously.
what it is. Exactly. Because the open source database that everyone using it, there are a lot of fake information in it.
Yeah.
Who are going to corroborate those?
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, what is it trained off of, right? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
That's the training, the data.
If it's trained based on the database of the court dockets that is available to the California
But
court or
only
Nevada
court
courts,
dockets.
only court dockets,
Right.
and the Westlaw and the annotation and the annotated statutes or something is different from something is open source that on the website.
that's just
I can post fake case law and write a fake case law
Yeah.
and post it online, and the AI is going to search through Google
it doesn't know.
and picks it up and matches it. Oh, it's perfect matching for that fact pattern.
Right.
It's
It,
done.
it sounds legit, but it's
Sounds
not.
legit.
So,
Even the citation was given.
so that begs another question, Your Honor, on
Your
the stand, is like so many businesses, like our business, you know, we're not lawyers, right? Most of us have had businesses for very little
I
time.
didn't lose anything. Not
But
to
like,
don't
so
worry.
what I'm saying is how so many people are using AI to generate contracts, to generate agreements, to do
reliable.
whatever. So
It
like,
depends on what AI and whether the lawyer review it. You can just do the basic things
right,
or the drafting, but you cannot rely
like a
fully
contractor
on it.
agreement, for example,
Yes.
can get you almost there with AI.
Exactly.
Have you ever had any situations where, probably not yet, but like, you have any situations where, you know, any parts of the party, the agreements between them just are fake because they were AI
No,
written?
I
or
haven't seen it.
They're not thorough
no,
enough.
I never seen it right now so far, but
Right.
I was reading that about the news. I say, how come? And I read it. I said, holy moly, that's so outrageous that
Right.
there is no case law. A good citation comes out and it's
Yeah.
on point, exactly facts and the laws.
Yeah.
And you cite it, you think they're winning the case, you end up in the state bar ethic comedy.
Yeah, we don't use AI.
Yeah,
as
you
a
don't
Hadari
use
law
AI.
group.
And one of these days, people come and say, "We don't use AI." Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the advertise. We don't
mean,
use AI.
that's a great
We don't have
billboard.
we don't have an AI lawyer.
Chat GPT, who?
Exactly. That's the thing we have to do. Possibly that one of the billboards can be, "We are not AI lawyers.
Yeah, we are not AI
we
lawyers.
really sweat and,
And
we
it-
really
you know, you should-
work on it. We just." Yeah, we are ethical.
Another billboard idea.
right.
You have
That's
two. You have
nice.
two hands out. You have the red pill and the blue pill. One says AI lawyers, and one says like real lawyers. And you just go. You eat the. You're like we're real
That's
lawyers
good.
here at Hadari Law Group.
I like
That's
that.
good.
That was good.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, can you just cut this part because people I don't want to steal my ideas and whoever that is
we got
stealing this
so many.
idea, please,
Yeah.
please.
Wait. Let's
let's
do a poor man's copyright. You should understand this. Poor man's copyright. Let's put
Yes.
this video in a flash drive. Let's mail it to ourselves, certified mail. We'll have a
Yes.
date stamped,
Date
and then
stamped.
if there's any issues,
that's the thing?
You yeah.
Oh,
you
I
never
know.
Hadari.
Wow, man,
the
I didn't
lawyer
know
has
that.
never heard
Is
of
it
poor
cheap
man's
way?
copyright.
No.
So
that's
okay,
it.
the concept is
I always
right.
did the copyright
so,
the proper way.
you-
I didn't care about porn and porn because I don't want to pay the attorneys
Right.
afterward.
Yeah, you're doing it
because
the-
either you do it, you pay the attorneys up front, or you pay it later after you
Right.
get sued.
Well, after you get sued, right? Then you got to pay anyways. That's a great point. The idea is like, you have an idea, right? You write it down on a piece of paper or in some sort of format. You mail it to yourself, certified. So, and then never open it. So if there's ever an issue where it comes to who had the idea first, you have a federal date stamped time of the creation of the idea, and you open it up in court, and then boom, like you read it out, and then
Wow.
that's the idea. So it's called poor man's copyright. Again, that's a good point. If you're doing that, you will have to pay lawyer fees once you get sued or once you sue, obviously.
Yeah. So we can use this recording as instead of the mailing.
Yeah, you put on a flash drive, you put it in the envelope, then you mail it to yourself. And then as long as that file doesn't get corrupt, there's no way to change the file when it's outside of the
Outside the
envelope, right? It's not like I can
yes.
program it through the
Yeah.
envelope. So, or we
right.
just print it on film
Okay, so
and then
let's
fold
do
it.
that. Can you please put this episode into the
Yeah.
mail it
Right
to
away, sir.
yourself?
Right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
send it.
Cool. And
God, we gave
can we
too many
can we
good ideas
can we
about
poor
the
man's
billboards.
Can we poor man's copyright the poor man's copyright as well?
Yes.
Can we write that down? Put
Yes.
that
On it,
also in there.
on it right now.
Yeah. Okay. We're good.
Poor
You think
man's
it-
copyright.
Are you gonna represent me whenever we need to use that poor man's
No,
copyright?
I'm
No.
going to be broke by then.
Ooh.
I get too many losses because of that method that you're recommending here.
Hey, I'm
By
not
the
a
way,
lawyer.
disclaimer: he's not a lawyer. I'm not confirming that this is a proper way of the trademarking yourself and the patenting yourself and protecting your intellectual properties.
Wow. It's really insane, like all the individual but we use a lot of AI here at the studio just because
People sue for any reason. Sometimes it's ridiculous. The other one was someone said that you pretended. Who was it on my show that said that someone got sued for the vodka that she was advertising for? They said that you pretended that the vodka you're drinking is making you lose weight. I drank it, I'll gain weight. They said, what? People sue for everything.
Well, I mean,
That's the reason our lawyer job actually looks bad. Actually, some people think
Well,
the
it's
lawyers
because-
are jerks and the crooks That's a reason.
Well, is there even a world out there? I mean, there would be no such thing as a profession of lawyers if people just were cool.
No,
It's like, hey,
there's no
bro,
such
be
a
cool. Be cool,
There is
bro.
no such a thing, cool lawyer.
No, I meant just like if everyone just wasn't such a beep hole, like they wouldn't even like want to sue. Like it goes back to like, you know, it goes back to that conservative town that you were talking about where they don't want like they don't want people to sue companies because like who in the right mind would do that? Because like it's basically saying that companies that they have negligence and they want to hurt people. Like we don't want to hurt anyone here at Sticky Paws. We do our best to make it so that it's as safe as possible.
Yes.
But like sometimes
That's the reason you're covering the cables.
it's
here
covering the
underneath.
cables and stuff like that. So, but
Because
but
not because you're afraid of being sued, because you care the human life.
correct. But then that happens where on big enough corporations they just have to meet minimum requirements, right? And all they're trying to do is just like okay, like they have a
They
list
cut
of
corners
rules.
and then just
Yeah.
they say, okay, get away with it. Let's see what happens.
But then you also can't prove that a corporation because it's not one person.
It's
cares.
not one person. It's a culture.
Yeah.
Actually, and they try to get away with it, and
Right.
they sometimes get caught, and then it's not a money.
It's like Disney.
Like the opioid.
It's-
Opioid that is going around the method of the marketing
Right.
that the opioid companies
Oh,
they were
right.
doing it, and that peddling it and trying to promote it.
Put
the
your kid
usage
on
of it.
Adderall. It's rebranded meth.
Rebrand-
Rebranded meth for children.
Yep.
Adderall.
I was reading something that the Adderall is on the shortage in California.
Oh no
I
wonder.
read something that
They're overprescribing it probably.
Overprescribing possibly. That's the reason. There was an article or something, and my wife is a pharmacist saying there's no Adderall in the market.
That's not surprising. You know what's crazy? Like, and because people are being overprescribed,
Yeah.
that means people who need Adderall are going to have
They
to get
cannot just do
alternatives,
alternatives.
or they're getting it off the street, which probably has like fentanyl or some
Then,
crazy
yeah, the
stuff in
crazy
it,
stuff.
right?
Yep, exactly. That's a problem.
Off the record.
Off the record.
Off the record. Do
Let's
you?
stop
Never mind. I'd
You
imagine.
have some Adderall? No. I'm running out of it. You were correct. I ran out of it. I have to go to the street now. It's a self-incrimination, okay?
Yeah.
Take the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. Man, yeah, like so many. Yeah, I mean, does AI need Adderall? Do you think AI needs meth to?
No,
to get
AI
through
is
the
on
day?
Adderall.
Did you-
It gives you a motion within a 1 minute.
Did you
okay?
see?
So
Did you see
it's
that?
fast.
Did you see that video that just came out of that guy who brought a trash can into a 7-Eleven? And he brought a trash can into a 7-Eleven, went behind the counter, and started just loading, like throwing a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of cigarettes inside the trash can. Right. And because of the culture, I'm not sure what town this is. This is in, not Vegas. And like this, what seems like a homeless guy, dressed down, whatever, you know, has a trash, and he's just shoving stuff in there. And the employees obviously like ran away because you're not supposed to hurt people, even if they're robbing you, right? And then out of nowhere, halfway through this video, they just start like, you know, you could tell these guys are, you know, from a different country. They're wearing, you know, turbans and stuff like that. And they just start wailing on him with a stick because like this guy's robbing this independent store, right? And so I wanted, I wanted
got
you to watch
indicted
it.
for the
yeah.
injury.
Yeah, take a
injuring
look
that
at this.
person.
Yes.
This is not good, bro. I'm telling you. This is not good.
What the heck?
Hey, let me get a swisher though. Can I get a strip? Hey, can I get a
Does he have a
swisher?
gun? Is that
You
a
had
gun?
gun?
Let me get a swisher.
Oh, that's a knife. Looks like a knife.
Back up. No, put a gun on this.
Oh, that is a gun.
Hey, there's
That's a
nothing
gun?
I think so.
There's nothing you can do,
Appreciate two guns.
but it's nothing.
Oh,
you
so
can
that's
do.
the business owner right there. There's nothing you can
It's
do.
like they're not gonna do nothing. You just have to just claim you have
Right.
insurance.
Wow.
Wow.
Where was it?
You have insurance. Does you have insurance?
Stockton?
Yeah, Stockton,
No,
California.
You say that you have insurance,
Yeah.
and the
Those-
police takes
he's
15
even,
minutes.
He's even getting the
Nothing you can do.
the
though.
bad cigarettes.
There's nothing you
Here,
can
you
do,
want to
man.
cut ahead to the
It
action?
doesn't have a good taste.
Oh, there it is. Hold on, back up there.
Don't do
There
that.
it is.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Oh, right there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Justice.
Oh,
Civil
man.
justice. Hey,
That's
I'll
the
speak
one.
for you. It's don't worry. You don't have to incriminate yourself. Oh yeah, sweet justice.
He is restrained, man. This is extreme. They have to get the guy.
Wow. Keeps going, dude. How long is he beating him? Oh my.
Now go.
I'm coming, go.
Go.
I'm going, let me go.
Go. Go.
You can't.
Go. Hey, let him go. Just let him go. Just let him go. That's enough. That's enough. Hey, that's enough. That's enough.
Oh,
Sorry.
That's
no,
enough.
no.
That's enough. Okay. Hey, okay. No more. No more. No more. Please. It's okay.
He's not gonna be able to walk out of there.
Just let him go. Hey, you go. Go.
All right. Well, dang.
Sad.
Let me tell you my opinion, and I don't want your opinion as an injury lawyer, because obviously that guy who's getting beat up is coming to you, right? Right? Am I wrong? He's injured at a place of business.
It depends
probably
on what jurisdiction it is.
I mean,
Because he's
California, Stockton, California, which we know how
Stockton?
liberal,
Oh, okay.
California is, right?
As to the charges, I don't know they are going to charge this guy or not. I don't know.
So, like, does the business owners of that 7-Eleven, like, first, like, in my opinion, they're getting fired. 7-Eleven is just going to fire them, right? Whether the owners, they're going to remove the franchising license, they're going to lose their company, and that a guy who's
Was there
stealing.
news about that? You
No,
can't
I'm
find
just
that.
speculating. I'm speculating. I'm sure we can find something online if we actually like.
It's a fight because it depends. It's
So-
a self-defense. But the way that I saw it, it was not a self-defense because this guy was restrained. It's an excessive force issue. Like
Right,
the
it
police.
wasn't-
When someone is restrained and is not a danger, you don't keep beating up. That's the issue. You have to just try to restrain it and keep it and deliver it to the police, then they can release him. That's the thing they do.
So you think that guy who's stealing all the cigarettes has a case, an actual
It's
case
possible.
against the
Based on the video that I saw, it's possible because that was excessive force. But there is a defense.
what's the defense?
The defense is he had the danger of his life.
Right, he had
Because
a gun
or
or
something. Because I didn't see that it's a gun or not. If it's a gun, it's still he was not restrained completely, and he's possibly reaching for the gun. But I didn't see the gun was removed from his body.
Right.
So-
but if it was in his back pocket and you're just trying to restrain him,
Anytime. So that's the reason this guy was continue beating him up. It can be a self-defense. I am not an expert in that, but I'm telling you, but there are crazy lawyers that are going to file a lawsuit on behalf of this person.
right? I mean, and absolutely, and that, in my opinion, that is that guy knew he was doing something wrong. He knew there's a risk going in. He obviously had a weapon that he
The
kept on trying to pull out.
assumption of risk and putting out
I
the
believe,
danger to the public.
and I'll say it, like I believe that that is like society healing itself, right? Right. But that guy,
But it's an issue that people are fed up in California, especially Los Angeles.
Right.
I was in Los Angeles office and I saw a homeless guy coming in the Carl Jr. I was waiting for the sandwich to pick up. I was talking to my friend. This homeless guy came in and it was a jar for the tips. It was $20 in it, dollars and the cents and everything. This guy over and pulled up the pants and went to the jar and picked up the jar and took a look and took all the dollars, fives, and the ones in it and walk out.
He left the coins.
He left the
He left
coins
the
and the
coins.
pennies, not the 25 cents, not the quarters.
Okay.
And I was looking at him and say, I look at the manager and say, let it go. I said, he's taking the tips. I said, no, let it go. I saw it myself, actually, in the Carl Jr. in
Wow.
front of the office. And it was, really?
But like,
People never say anything.
There's
and there
no
was the
insurance
police
for that
actually
tips.
out there. No tips. There's no insurance. It's a minimal. And they are going to take it and
Yeah.
buy another drug or buy another sandwich and they survive and go to another business, do the same thing.
he probably comes back the next
Yeah.
day and uses that $20 bill.
$20 to buy Carl's Jr. And possibly they knew about that. It's a return customer.
No, they take that money and put it back.
$20 over the past and let me get this thing. And can you give me a sandwich?
Yeah, but like, I've never met a business owner personally, even the ones that owners of the franchises, that when a homeless person approaches the business, like, hey man, I just need something to eat, they almost 9 times out of 10,
They
they'll be
give them
like,
something.
dude, I get it. Here's some food. But like, why do people feel like they have to not be civil? Like, so my question to you is, in Vegas, if that happens at a 7-Eleven, that guy
Metro is good at do that.
that guy-
at 10, and they take care of them usually.
Yeah.
In Vegas, we don't have problem. The policing problem.
Yeah, well, yeah, Metro is
Yeah.
actually pretty good here. But that guy who's stealing the cigarettes calls you, says, I was injured at a 7-Eleven.
I
You
won't
picking that
agree with
case?
that.
You see that video
I
picking
don't
the
take
case?
this case. No.
No? There's no chance you're winning.
It's against my, possibly there's the money in it, there's a thing, but it's against my
Ethics.
ethics, you know? It's not moral to take someone that he's already trying to damage other people.
So
And he knew that he's damaging. He knew that he's doing the wrong thing. And you said he assumed the risk going into that. Possibly there's a legal remedy for it because of his excessive force or those things that I told you. But I don't take that case. No.
So can I get your cosign that anybody in California, any lawyer in California that there might besides a public defender, that they're trash and
Probably
they should be
do their
debarred.
job.
They should be debarred.
No. It depends. It's a judgment call. yes, by the lawyer, as long as it's not illegal to take that, and you know.
But
that
you
the
just said it yourself. It's not illegal. It's a moral issue. So don't
It's
you
a moral
feel-
issue. Moral and ethics is the two different things. Something is illegal, but is morally right or not is different. Something is morally right, but you don't know. Morally right, but it's illegal.
But you don't.
cannot do it.
So you
but
don't-
It's a boundaries between the legality and the morality.
So have you
So
ever
you cannot say.
have you ever taken a case that where it was like, I mean, yes.
I try not to take
it needs to be
something that
obvious.
is like that. That's obvious. This is so obvious. This guy was a intruder. There was a trespasser and is a thief.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a thief that is going inside and going to take his stuff out.
Have you ever had like a situation where two people are?
You heard that the thieves they can sue still on the
Right.
premises.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely they can.
I mean,
They
you can
follow
rob a
us they
house
rob
and
a
then sue the
and you
homeowner. Yeah.
But I don't do it. Why I have to do it?
Like I have one last question. So let's say I'm in a 7-Eleven. I get some like I'm a customer of 7-Eleven and somebody walks in. They're about to rob it and I just punch him in the face. He punched me in the face. I punch him. He slips on water, the guy who's going to rob cracks his head on the ground. Doesn't die. He's in, terminal condition. He finds a lawyer, right? So what is the grounds? Does the 7-Eleven assume liability for me attacking somebody at a 7-Eleven for them slipping? Because you see that video where
The third party, you're saying that some guest gets injured
there's a
because
tiff
of the.
between two guests at a business. What happens?
It depends
they get
on
hurt.
whether that it was a. It was. There are case laws and there is issues that do that. It depends on whether it was a foreseeable danger
Right.
to the customer over there, and it was a crime-fisted areas that
Right.
it needs more security. They call it negligent security cases.
Negligent
than
security.
cases.
Right.
It means that if the owner of the 7-Eleven knew that there are intruders and they didn't take any actions, or there are homeless or other people around the business, and they are going to be a danger to whom? To the customers and the patrons, then he has to do what? Put the security guard or try not to let those people to come in.
Right.
Lock
So
the
it's
door,
so
or
that's a
there is some
liability issue. again.
Liability issue.
But security.
And it is that if they don't do that and they don't put the armed security, there is a negligent security.
But then
It
if that
depends.
security guard acts on that
Acts
security, then he can
excessively
get
because that's a security guard should be trained enough not to beat up someone like
Right,
this.
to not to use excessive force.
excessive force for something that there's no danger to anyone at that moment, or he's apprehended or just restrained, and there's no danger. So it depends on the fact. It's a fact-intensive situations. But
Right.
always there you get the motion for summary judgment. We are not responsible for the act of the third party, intentional and criminal act of the third party on the premises at the business.
Right.
No, you are sometimes. It depends
Sometimes.
on how many times it happened over there and you didn't do anything about it.
right. Somebody gets in a fight in your lobby. Shame on them. They second time,
Same thing.
then shame on me.
Shame on me
Yeah.
because now there's a history of it.
I didn't put a sign that says no fighting.
No
Yeah.
fight. Sometimes it helps. Yeah.
It's like, hey, come. Oh, look what.
Is that-
Yep, it says no fighting. Let's take this
No,
outside.
No guns
Let's take this
inside.
outside.
That's the reason some facility they have no guns inside. Actually, they are not allowing
Some
guns.
some Texas locations are like, please, guns encouraged.
Really?
Because like they're like white blood cells, like they believe that they protect the environment. Like if everybody in a store has a gun and one person robs, there's now 14.
Everyone kills each other by mistake because they don't know who's
Like,
shooting who. Who's
There's like,
everyone pulls two.
do we get an answer on what happened to that? Is anyone getting sued?
No, it's still
Jury's still
ongoing.
out.
Jury's out.
I mean, it happened 2 days ago.
Oh,
so.
how much do we have? Do we have time?
We don't know.
Do we have time for one more
Definitely,
story,
the
George?
guy who stole is going to be charged because there's a lot of publicity. Even
Right.
the most liberal DAs are going to say we have to charge this guy. But at the same time, the other people say he was homeless, mental disability. That's a defense. But it's still, it's always there are two sides to this story. Okay, there is no wrong or right till the jury decides.
There is, in my opinion, there is a very obvious right and wrong in that scenario.
In this scenario, this guy is definitely disregarding any laws and human.
Right, human, interface.
human interface.
I know we are short on time. Do we got time for one more story? So do you did you hear about Cardi B? Is it Cardi B? Is that what happened?
You got
Yeah.
Yeah, so
anyone got
Cardi
injured?
B was
Cardi
like,
B?
I think so. She threw a microphone at somebody.
she threw the
a
microphone,
Do you
yes.
have do you have that video?
I can find it real quick.
Yeah, let's watch this video, and I want to get your opinion on this because Cardi B, someone who is known for their quote unquote ratchetness, like she's like rowdy, she's kind of like that's kind of her thing.
She's a good actor,
and and she's a talented artist and stuff like that. So, but like she was at like the Dre's Day Club. She was performing.
Yes.
And she just tossed a microphone.
I don't know. This is a video that she encouraged people to splash water.
Yeah.
But not on her face.
But come on.
But
let's
people,
do you
how
have
they
it?
can target not her face.
Let's-
How viral, caught on camera moment, she threw her microphone into the crowd while performing. Las Vegas police now investigating the Grammy winner for possible battery after a woman who attended Saturday's concert at Dre's Beach Club told police she was struck by an item that was thrown from the stage. The upsing.
I heard that there is no charges brought against her.
Of
They
course
said
not.
that there is no intent to harm.
Yeah, throwing a microphone that's like 2 pounds at somebody. That's
Intent to harm. That I disagree with that part. And
Yeah,
also,
this is the so she water
I
boom ouch.
There was another podcast I was talking about that another podcast. I told them, look, as an entertainer, always you're expecting that, and there is a buffer zone actually.
Right, yeah, there's like
There's
gap.
a gap.
Yeah.
And here you don't see the gap, and people are so close to this lady
So does
during the heat, and also people are drunk. Is it Dre's Day Club? And you have to expect that.
So does the venue?
If there is anyone at fault, is the security contractor of that venue.
So that's what I'm saying. So is the venue
Cardi
is liable?
The
venue is
to
liable.
Cardi actually, if there's such a thing happen.
Yeah.
Because Cardi B is pissed because someone threw the water. So there should be a buffer zone between you and the thing. Yes, you
you
have
would
to
assume.
look at. And also, I heard that she encouraged people to splash water on the scene,
That's
not
true.
on her face.
I mean,
so that's encouragement.
it's hot
How you can just ask people to throw water, and then they threw water, they lands on your face and through the microphone. Come on.
Is there a case law
yeah.
called assisted assault?
No, it's invitation to assault me by water.
Is there a case law for that? Like if I say punch me, and they punch me, and then I
punch you,
assume,
and then you threw the microphone. Why you did punch me?
yeah, why did you punch me? I think.
No, that was-
okay. Do you take that guys who got hit by the microphone? Do you take his case?
It depends on the injury, yes, possible.
Okay, he gets
because she
broken
had to,
nose.
She had to control herself,
Broken
even though
nose.
people say morally that she was splashing water. Say, hey, you have to act rational,
Right.
reasonable under any circumstances, which is a reasonable man. In law school, they taught us, and as a person in society, you have to act rational, reasonable,
Yeah.
to the thing that's happening to you. Someone splashes water on you, okay?
Right. Take
you
the high
punch
road.
them, or take a gun and hit them, or throw the microphone. What do? All of them are wrong.
Yeah.
Just walk away, or say, hey, don't do it. You clean up and you walk away.
Right.
You don't throw a heavy microphone over the people's head.
That's fair
going
enough.
to injure.
Wow.
So if she's hopefully learned her lesson not to do it.
So you take that guy's case.
Yes, I will take that case,
And you're
definitely.
winning it. You're
There's
winning
no
it.
need to winning it because it was instigated, but the instigation is not a defense to the throwing a microphone at people.
Right.
What was the harm to her?
Right.
By the
But
getting wet.
If she threw water
But
back
if
at him, is there a
you
case?
hit someone with the microphone on the head, you get a TBI, traumatic brain injury, concussion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
There it is.
do your math.
You heard-
Do your math and tell me which one is reasonable.
And we actually have that guy coming in right now. I'm joking. He's not in here.
Thank you. Let's welcome the person was injured in this situation.
Yeah.
Oh, my head hurts.
Oh, it's
you.
George the whole time.
George, I didn't
I
know
love
that
Cardi
you splash water on people, man.
I didn't even throw the water.
You did. You threw the
It was the
water
guy
at
next to you
person.
that threw the water, and you got hit because she has a bad aim.
Yeah.
Cardi B, can you give me like free concert tickets?
No, for life.
For life.
For life.
I mean, she's
But-
actually getting canceled for this. She's actually like a lot of people are canceling her for that, and she doesn't give a crap. What do you think about that?
Look, there is a mixed emotions. Some people say, "Oh, why that guy did it? He deserved it." Okay, but the law doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Okay, law is different. You can say someone got into my house by mistake. I shot him. Yes.
Yeah.
You made a mistake and came in, and he was naked. Came to my house and hands up in the air, and there was no danger. I shot him. I saw him in the house.
This ain't Texas, you know?
Yeah.
You can't.
Here you can do it if they break in, actually. But
I mean,
California is harder.
There's so many people who, like, I've heard stories where like people drunk, come home to the wrong house.
The wrong house and they get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because like it's easy to do it.
It depends on the facts. You cannot just say, always they say I hate that word, but always people hate that word that the lawyers say. It depends. It depends.
It depends.
It depends on what they did and what was going on. And sometimes media, they don't show the full version of it. I heard that she asked for people to throw water on the scene, not on my face, but on the scene, or throw some water. But that's another thing. You invited people to do it, and after that, you got pissed and trying to harm someone. That's not right.
Right. I know that we're short of time, but I just came up with this last one. This will be the last thing. This will be the last thing. I swear. You guys can finally not listen to this podcast. I'm joking. This is a great podcast. I'm enjoying myself. You enjoying yourself? This is my show now.
I'm enjoying my show. I'm not myself. I'm not enjoying myself. Please use the proper words.
I want to bring up another situation. Something that I think is completely interesting in this kind of like law world, where injury law kind of like creates problems to solve them. For example, let's say I am in like a 3 or 4 car accident, right?
3 or 4.
Like I'm like in the car number 1.
Is a chain accident.
I'm in car number 1, and then car number 5 is the one who caused the accident or whatever. And I get hurt, my shoulder, my neck gets hurt, right? But I obviously call you. I got something going on, and I have like my
aliens get hurt.
Neck's hurting or whatever, and I call to you, and I'm like,
they
hey,
get a short circuit.
I want to.
Some boards or panels is blown up. That's it. They don't get hurt.
They don't get hurt.
They get damaged.
Yeah. Okay.
They get damaged.
Just take off the.
That's different words.
The normal recommendation from an injury lawyer is like, okay, go to the doctor, get x-rays, blah, 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 do this, blah, 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 go to all these things. But let's say after day 3, there is no pain. Like the pain was, made, like not made up, but it was like fictitious. Like, okay, after you've gotten the client is now completely healthy, right? But they still want to get compensation for everything.
My legal duty and ethics obligation says I should just send the demand and ask the insurance to pay. You are not, if you feel that the client is just faking it or malingering it, you have a duty to just advise or withdraw from the case, because that's not right, and you're advocating for false facts. You have to withdraw.
So in this scenario,
but always you have to give a benefit of the doubt that they are not doing, unless expressly tell you, hey, I'm not hurt, but I'm going to do that. And say, okay, that's the end of my.
Like you turn off your tape recorder. You're like, please don't say that again.
No.
Okay, so instead of going to physical therapy, which I think medical physical therapy is absolutely garbage. I think that they waste your time. They give you electric shock diodes. They stretch your back, and by the time you leave, you're hurting. Anyways.
What happened?
No, nothing happened with me. Just because like I have a lot of people who have gone through this process where, for example, the guy next door to the studio, he is a physical therapist, but he doesn't take insurance. But he does, in my opinion, better physical therapy than any insurance physical therapist ever. So does going to that physical therapist, the one who actually fixes you, compared to the one who doesn't, affect your case whenever you're trying to get?
It depends on the client. To some extent, it's right, but not always.
Yeah.
It depends on the doctor. Sometimes most of the time, clients, they choose their own doctors.
Sure.
They have their own chiropractor, they have their own physical therapist, they have a primary doctor. They go to those doctors. And we prefer people to go their own doctor because there's no bill. And they are going to be by health insurance. Then when it comes to the settlement or the jury verdict, we can just
What if it's a cash-only practice? Like
cash-only practice, it depends on the client. I had clients that they said, I'm going to the cash-only practice. I'm going to pay out of my pocket. Say, get the receipt and bring it back. There are situations that is like that. But you're right. Some chiropractors or some people, they don't care. Or the chiropractors, they just want to just make the record, the person. Yeah, I've seen those as well, mostly in California, not here. I haven't seen it here, that the chiropractor doesn't work on the person properly.
Right.
Because it's a judgment call again. Yes. I cannot say that the doctor didn't do it proper because I'm not a doctor.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's not up to you to whether or not if it fixed them, because if they go to a regular physical therapist, they can feel good.
Feel good, and they can go to any doctor they want.
Right.
I always tell them, say, you have a doctor, yes, then go to that doctor and document it and bring the bills. We receive them and we send it to the insurance company. And if you didn't get better, ask the doctor to refer you to someone else. And just to get to the bottom of it, and when you are going to heal and what your status is within the 6 months.
This happened to one of my family members. I wanted them to go here. And, they've been going here for a while, for a second, and then it felt great. Then they got in this accident. And they, when they were talking to the lawyer, they're like, you need to go through insurance. You go through traditional practices so they can keep track of like the money spent. And I was like, no, go to Ron next door. Go to Ron next door. He will make you better. Screw all the other people.
Depends. Depends. Again, that word. People, they hate it. Chiropractors versus the physical therapy. You can go to the physical therapy, but physical therapy should be referred by the MD, medical doctor. It's not their fault of the lawyers that they think that way, some of them, because the insurance companies, when it comes to the payment, they say, why he went to the physical therapy to get that? Which doctor referred it to? Oh, that was not necessary. I'm not going to pay for it. That's the thing that the insurance company always play games.
The defendant might, their insurance might not pay for that because it's not required.
It's not required because no MD would recommended or referred him.
So that's the problem.
That's a problem. Or there is no diagnosis by the medical providers as the MD that can write a report or testify as to the causation, that whether this thing is caused by this incident.
Right.
Chiropractors, they can testify. They are going
they have
to
something
say
to
that lose. Actually, no, not lose. They can testify as to whether this injury was caused by this incident based on the physical evaluation. So physical therapists, they are not going to form opinion as to the causation. So that's the difference between the physical therapist and the orthopedics, actually.
Right.
And who is going to form opinion for the physical therapy? The MD, the medical doctor.
Right. But
that's the thing that the insurance play with it, not to pay. And the lawyers, they get it wrong. They say, hey, you cannot go to your own doctor. No, you can go to your own doctor. It depends on what doctor and who referred you over there. So go to see your primary doctor. And if you need the thing, physical therapy, the medical doctor is going to refer you to a physical therapy, and then choose which physical therapy you want to go. The one that is a cash payment, or the one that is see you on the contract, or the one that sees you on the health insurance.
So what my family member needed to do is go to their doctor and insist that they recommend this doctor.
Not insist, because the doctor is using his medical license and medical opinion that what you need. Sometimes they say, you don't need a physical therapy. It was a big accident. And also, I see a tear or something. You cannot do a physical therapy. Go see a surgeon.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously, that's the case.
Or see a pain management because
you get his referral.
Get it under control. The doctor is going to give a medical opinion as to what you need. You cannot go to your doctor. Doctor, I need an injection. Can you do that, please?
Well, I guess the thing is like this man right here has healed my mom, who that's not the family member that got to this, but who was atrophied, could not walk, could not stand. And she was in 2 weeks, she was doing laps by doing squats and deadlifts, right? Such a weird physical therapist, right? But no doctors will put their license on the line to refer something that actually helps people. So now it's an ethical issue where this doctor, because he's just used to doing whatever.
It can work, but possibly he has enough clients and his practice is completely different. Some people, they see cash patients. Some people, they see only health insurance. Some of them, they see only personal injury cases on the lien basis. It depends on the business model.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that someone who sees on the lien basis, they are crooks or they are not good at their profession.
Right.
They are still good, but they are preferring to get paid more.
Right.
Because if you see patient on the lien basis, is more than a cash patient. But you have to wait till the case is over and there's a potential low settlement or the no liability, no payout. People, they don't want to take that risk. That's the reason they become cash payment. Say, oh, instead of the lien payment of the $1,500, I take the $500 right now rather than doing anything.
Sure.
Send the cash patient to me.
All right.
But that's a difference. It's a business model.
So it doesn't hurt the case by going to an alternative physical therapist.
No.
It's just
as long as there is a medical opinion whether that it was necessary to go to the physical therapy and it was this injury caused by this incident.
Right.
Because physical therapists cannot form opinion as to that part.
Right. So it has to be from the MD side.
MD or the chiropractor that is going to form that at the beginning, or the orthopedic.
Right.
Someone with a medical doctor.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask this question because this guy, honestly, he should be on your show if he hasn't. He's probably your next guest. And he works with athletes, but he actually reads the current science on physical therapy. And the issue is that there's no code. There's no code for deadlifting, right? Insurance code. because that's
They
not.
cannot bill it.
Yeah, they cannot bill it. So
There's
he
no
wants
CPT
to.
code.
He wants to bill insurance. He would love to. He'd get way more clients. But he's just morally, he's like, this is the right way. This is how people need to be. Like, he does do the massages and like some other physical therapy, but like he's like, strength is the root of all injury. Like if you hurt your shoulder, or if you're like over time you're getting old, you hurt your shoulder. It's not your shoulder that's the problem. A physical therapist will start massaging your shoulder, putting diodes on it, but it's
They
really
call
your
it
lower
active
back.
versus passive treatments.
Correct.
Active means that you are just actively trying to participate in the exercise
Right.
to improve your muscle atrophy or the problem that you have or the range of motion. The other one is a passive.
Mm.
Passive means that the chiropractor or the physical therapy work on you and trying to just move the muscle and
Right.
try to.
It's almost like pain management
Both of them,
versus-
there are the different methods and they are necessary based on the opinion of the doctor.
Right.
And some people they say it should be passive actual treatment or it should be active treatment.
Cool.
physical
You're going to
therapy.
have Ron Gallagher, Maximum Physical,
Next
Maximum
time.
Physical Therapist
I
on
have
the
to go
show.
experience it first, and then I will go.
Wait, would you have anything wrong with you? Like any shoulder, back issues,
yeah,
and
mental-
elbows?
mental disability.
Mental, oh, yeah, I don't know. Deadlifting. Well, I mean, going to the gym does,
Can
it
you
does
massage
help,
my
you know?
brain?
No, I mean, do you have any like issues, like little nagging whatevers?
No, not yet.
Really? Nothing?
Nothing.
Here, I'll hit you with a baseball bat on the way out. That's on the record. All right, that's all I got, guys.
Okay, see you outside in the backyard.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you for having me on. You talk more than me.
Yeah, I'm bringing
Thank
the
you for
sex to
having
this
me.
Sex Lives and Lawyers.
You are the sex.
I am it.